Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Well, hi, dear ones. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 199. Oh my gosh. We're almost to 200, which reminds me, I have to tell you about an incredible giveaway going on right now. If you're listening to this in real time, y'all, we're giving away an Aura ring. I'm going to tell you in a minute why I love it so much. And we're giving away a year-long membership to Life Mentoring School. We're giving both of those away on our 200th episode, which will come out Thursday, May 23rd. So you have to listen to that episode. And at the end of it, we are going to share the winners of both the Aura ring and the year-long membership to my coaching program, Life Mentoring School. We're so excited about this giveaway. Details for how to enter the giveaway are on both our House of Joy Instagram and my Instagram. You just look for the post with the big 200 on it. Go there for details. You basically leave us a review on Spotify or Apple. If you've already left us a review, there's this cool thing called SpeakPipe, and you'll find the link of it there in that post. And you can leave us a voice message. I'm so excited about these voice messages. We're going to use it for you to leave reviews so you can hear your voice on our podcast. And we're also going to be using it for you to ask questions. So we're really excited. So if you've already left us a review, go play with that and enter yourself to win the Aura ring or the year-long membership with Life Mentoring School. Today, I'm going to talk about my obsession with the Aura ring in relation to my favorite new number one habit that is changing my life and reshaping my body right here in the middle of midlife, you guys. Now, I know that I've talked about this before on episodes, but I want to dive deeper into it today. We're going to talk about walking, and I'm going to share with you my own strategy routine for walking. I'm going to share with you the benefits that I have noticed. I'm going to share with you some studies, some recent studies. I actually listened to a podcast yesterday and I was kind of blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense of why I've been seeing the changes in my own body that I've been seeing over the last few months as I have probably almost doubled my step count. So we're going to talk all about it today. I'm so excited. And again, this episode is not sponsored by the Aura ring, although they should sponsor us. I've been wearing my Aura ring for 4.5 or 5 years. I love it so much. Here it is. If you're watching on YouTube, just looks like a gold band. And when I first started tracking things like this, I had a Whoop strap. And I loved wearing the Whoop strap, but here's what I noticed. I didn't love wearing it at night. I don't like wearing a watch or something like that on my wrist at night. So when I learned about the Aura ring, I ordered it right away. So again, I've had mine for so long, and I wish you could see all of the stats that I have from this ring for the past few years. You can literally watch me get healthier and healthier and healthier. My heart rate, go down and down and down as I get fitter and healthier and I recover better and I sleep better. You can watch my sleep patterns, which have gotten dramatically better. You can watch my activity patterns, which have gotten dramatically better. And I can feel that. Like, I feel better than I ever have. And I don't know if I would have had the same ability to track all that without the ring. So I do love my Aura ring. So if you don't have one yet, this is a great chance for you to get one. They are kind of expensive on the front end, but then you don't pay monthly like you would normally pay with like a Whoop strap or something like that. So let me dive into a little bit of my own journey with this. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, you're like, Miss Edie, you are totally just here in your workout clothes. I just got back from the gym, and I've been talking to my CrossFit coach, Galen, about this. We just interviewed him, so his podcast is going to come out next week. But we've been talking about this a lot because this whole thing of, especially in midlife, when you're trying to reclaim your health and you're trying to reclaim your energy and you're trying to get your body back to something that you recognize, it can be a real struggle. And I feel like in so many ways, like I've been doing all the right things, but I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. And I think part of it was that I was training pretty hard, but my daily activity, because I work from home, I just wasn't. My Aura ring would say, like, you're not living an active lifestyle. And I would be so like frustrated by that. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just went and did a crazy workout at CrossFit. But what would happen is I would come home and I would work from home, and then I would go pick Tom up, and we would have a little flurry of activity in the afternoon usually, but then make dinner, sit down, watch something. I just wasn't really living an active lifestyle, even though I was working out a lot. And I don't know, it's been maybe a year now, but at least 8 or 9 months since I have very specifically been watching my Aura ring and trying to hit a certain number of steps every day and increasing my step count probably by double or close to that. And it has been unbelievable. The changes that I have seen in my energy level, my sleep improvement, my body reshaping. Listen, you guys, Miss Edie has the shape of a 12-year-old boy. I've always kind of had a straight shape and muscular legs, but I have never really had glutes. And I think that is the reason I actually ended up tearing my ACL, is because glute weakness can cause trouble with the knees. So after my ACL tear, I started to get really more interested in this and doing a lot more work trying to figure out, like, how can I build my glutes to be stronger? But I didn't notice a big change in it until the walking, you guys, until I started purposefully walking way more, like walking way more frequently. And they say that, don't spend 2 hours walking, break it up, and which is so much easier for most of us, break it up and walk multiple times a day. So I started doing that last year, and it has been so dramatic that I'm like, what is this junk in the trunk that I am finally noticing? Like, I am starting to build glutes. I have never really been able to do that. And I think it's two things. I think it's the walking, and I think it's where I have purposely been prioritizing protein. So I'll tell you about my favorite protein drink. I drink it first thing in the morning, and it kind of primes the body to, like, hey, we're about to need you, amino acids. And so I think that, in combination with the frequent walking throughout the day, and I'll tell you in a few minutes, like, how I do that, but multiple times throughout the day, where I've just made this consistent habit. And usually the first thing I do after I drop Tom off is go to the gym and get a workout in. What I was noticing, though, is that I was doing these regular workouts and seeing results, but not like, I just was like, you should be able to look at my body and go, man, that girl works out hard. And I just wasn't seeing that until I started this walking habit, this walking regimen. And now I'm like, oh, I'm so thankful. I'm starting to see the results of the work, and I just feel so much better. I was listening to a podcast yesterday that was talking about how even if you're doing regular workouts every day, and this is definitely rings true for me, if you don't have a baseline of activity of more than 8,000 steps, your body will not get the benefits of that regular exercise that you're doing. So the baseline is your activity level, that you're active throughout the day, that you're up and walking and moving throughout the day. I mean, listen, our bodies were made to move. I say this often, but movement is medicine. People ask me all the time, how did you heal your ACL when you tore your ACL? I kept moving. I healed my ACL without surgery because I do believe our bodies were made to heal. And thank goodness I was surrounded by good coaches and an amazing physical therapist, Zach Lynch, who helped me keep moving. I was at the gym literally 2 days after I tore my ACL, like moving, doing what I could do. But until the last year, what I hadn't been prioritizing is just the daily activity beyond the regular exercise. And so these studies have shown that if you do get your daily steps in and you are active, and by active meaning more than 8,000 steps a day, it's like your body is then primed to go, okay, now we're ready to make the changes that you're going to do in this exercise program. It's kind of like it primes the body for the exercise. Whereas if you're not getting that baseline of activity, you don't see the benefits. And it's something crazy like decreased risk of cardiovascular disease of like 47% of something like that. I'll link the podcast where he talks about the study in depth. But I was listening to that and he was talking about just body reshaping. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have been seeing that so much over the past few months. As the cumulative effect of this walking, I'm really starting to see it. So, the body reshaping, what I've noticed in my sleep, like all of these things that I've personally noticed. But also, if you look at just the increase in your metabolic rate when you are at a baseline level of activity. And again, if you look at what most Americans are getting at a baseline, is probably more like 4 or 5,000. We need double that to have a baseline that would be considered an active lifestyle. And you can make, you can do this over time, but I'm going to show you how I do it so that it literally, to get 10,000 steps anymore for me doesn't feel like I'm working at it. I had to work up to that. When I first started doing it, I'm like, oh, this ain't no joke. Now I've incorporated it into so many different parts of my day that it doesn't feel hard. The other thing that is so good about it, especially if you can walk outside, is the improvement in mental health and you're out in the sunshine. If you can walk at dusk or at sunrise, you get the benefits of kind of resetting your circadian rhythm, your cortisol levels. That's so, so good. I try to walk every night at dusk. It improves your bone density. It primes, again, your muscles that, improves your metabolism by priming your muscles for like, okay, we're about to have some exercise here. It's kind of like it's a signal that it sends to your body that, hey, we live an active lifestyle. We got to get ready to use this nutrition this person is eating to get these muscles, primed and ready. It improves your mitochondrial function, your sleep quality, so many different things that it improves. And I've just personally seen this over the last few months that back last year, I don't know if you remember, but I got a chronic sinusitis from wake surfing and my body was just, oh, it was really struggling. And I think this is part of the way that I really helped heal myself and helped my body kind of come out of that. And when I did that, I went off dairy. So going off dairy for 3 or 4 months, I kind of had a baseline of like, I don't know, 9 or 10 pounds of weight loss, probably more than that. And then I slowly kind of went back on some dairy. So I gained a little bit back from that. But I'm telling you, what has happened in reshaping my body over the past few months is that I feel like I couldn't I couldn't just have done that with diet alone. Of course, diet is super, super important and prioritizing protein and avoiding sugar and processed food. But I was doing all of that before and wasn't seeing exactly the same results. So this has really been a game changer for me. And I think you should try it, especially if you are a woman in midlife and you're like, why? I'm doing some exercise program. Why is it not helping? Living an active lifestyle, meaning are you getting 8 to 10 to 12,000 steps a day? And if you're not, I promise you this will make a big difference. I think what has helped me so much. So I'll give you a few things that I'm doing that I've been doing that have really helped. Number one is just to move more throughout the day. So for instance, if I run an errand, I park way at the back and I get as much walking as I can. I'm like, how far back can I, like I want to get through with this errand and I want there to be 2,000 more steps, once I'm done with this. So instead of people like waiting 10 minutes so they can park right at the front, no, park way in the back and give yourself the gift of all of those steps while you're running that errand. I do this in my house all the time, you guys. I go up all the way to the 3rd floor and then I come back down and then I go up and get a drink and then I come back down. I don't try to go, okay, let me get everything on this level that I need. No, on purpose, I want to walk more in my house throughout the day. So I think just where can steps everywhere in every capacity, like how can I walk more here? The second thing I started doing is I started walking after meals. So, this has been game changer as well. Walking after meals or postprandial walking, as they call it, can really help you reset your blood sugar, can really help you lower your insulin levels. So after lunch, I'll go out, even if it's not very far, even if I've got a really busy day, I'll just go out, walk past the mailbox and back. Any bit, 5 minutes, any bit of walking after meals, so good. Stevie and I last night, we were both tired and we both looked at our devices and went, oh, I need to get a few more steps in. And so we basically were like, let's go for a walk. So we went down to the end of our road and back. And then it's funny because even after that, we're like, oh, let's go for one more. So, and I already had close to 10,000 steps, but I like to get to 10,000 before I kind of settle in for the night. I know I'm going to get more than that because I'm going to walk in my house and I'm going to do the dishes and putter around the kitchen and go do my night thing, so I know I'm going to get more than that, but at least 10,000 before I like come in for the night. And so yesterday it was awesome because I already had close to that. And then I end up with like 12,000 because I went for just a short walk and it was just fun and it didn't feel like you're doing much of anything. So I promise you that this will get easier with time, but if you can do it after meals, make a commitment to doing it after meals. So good for your blood sugar, so good to balance your insulin levels and to jumpstart your metabolism. So that I think is so good. Third is just consistency, finding somewhere in the day where you can go for a walk. So for me, this is normally in the afternoons when I come home with Tom. He's out gallivanting around our property, doing whatever he is doing. I will usually go for at least 1 or 2 laps of my normal walking route at my house, listening to an audiobook or something like that. He's like driving the four-wheeler or he's usually doing something outside. And so while we're doing that, I'll just go for a walk. So finding a time of day where you consistently go for a walk. So think about it. You're doing a walk where you're going for a walk. You're moving more in general everywhere you go. You're going for a short walk after meals. Like literally, if you do those 3 things, then you've got your steps in without it. It doesn't feel like you're even doing that much. The only time that I notice that it feels harder for me is if we're traveling, if like this weekend, I was just bone tired this weekend and I really wanted to give myself a bunch of downtime. I sat on my porch a lot. I sat in my bed and I had to okay, now I need to go for a walk because I've had a day where I'm really just relaxing. But it's funny because after I started walking, then I didn't want to stop. I'm like, oh, this feels so good. And you will just start to feel so good. You'll sleep so much better that it will become its own, it'll become its own gift in and of itself. And again, I think what I have read about the benefits of it is that shorter bursts are better than saying oh, I've got to get 10,000 steps in one thing. Don't try to do that. That'll feel discouraging. Then what I think I would say the fourth way is for me lately, we are training at my CrossFit gym right now for the workout on Memorial Day called Murph. So we've been doing more running in the gym. So then my workout is giving me today, I think I ran 2 miles in the workout. And so it doesn't always happen this way, but I love when I come home from the gym, I've already got usually 5,000 steps. I think I have 4,800 right now and it's 10:15 in the morning. So I'm halfway there if my goal was 10,000, right? And I know at lunch I'm going to go for a walk and then this afternoon I'm going to walk some and then after the meal walking. And so it's going to be so easy if you can prioritize getting that first burst in, maybe with your regular workout or maybe first thing in the morning at sunrise, you go for a walk. I just like kind of getting a jump start on it. And then a couple more things. I just love hiking. So if you can incorporate any hiking into that, Tom and I when the lake is down, we like hiking on the rocks. We have a hike about 1 mile from our house that's really good. So any other amount of fun, make it fun for yourself, go for a hike or whatever. The other thing is stairs. So good for you to mix up the incline. So I live in a house where we have 2 different flights of stairs. So I'm always asking myself, how can I go up and down the stairs more, not less? Because isn't our mind conditioned? How can I do it the least amount of times? I'm asking myself, I want to do it the most amount of times. So sometimes I'll just walk upstairs for something dumb. and then walk right back down and like, oh, let me go start a diffuser down on the bottom level and I'll go downstairs and start a diffuser or whatever. Like finding reasons to take your stairs or to take the stairs wherever you are. In our gym, we often do step ups on a box or box jumps. Those step ups can be so good. Just inclines. Like there's two different places on our property where you might normally go, oh, I don't want to walk that hill, but you change your mindset and you go, oh, this is going to be so good to walk this hill. It's going to help me build my glutes so that my knees are more healthy and stable. And just in general, that movement is just so good for your joints. So I hope I have properly convinced you of the benefits of this. There are so many. And I hope you will go enter our giveaway for the Aura Ring so you can track your steps. Or if you don't win the giveaway, it would be a good investment in yourself. Um, I guess some people do have trouble with being too hard on themselves or too obsessed with something. If they're doing the counting, I don't really struggle with that at all. I find it like a fun way to say like, oh, is there a way that I could get, 2,000 more steps in and it feel easy? There usually is. And I don't beat myself up. Like we were traveling last weekend and I didn't get my steps in a couple different days and still got around 8,000. But what I've been wanting to get, I didn't get them in. And I don't beat myself up. I go, oh, just traveling. It's fine. But I just feel so much better, so much more energy, you guys. Energy begets energy. So if you're living a sedentary lifestyle, that begets more sedentary lifestyle. And I think because Stevie and I often do it together, or we kind of do it separate, but together, we're not like the kind of couple I don't want you to envision that we're like hand holding, walking down our road together. It's never like that. Like, kudos to you if that's the way you walk. But we're kind of like, in zone two, like brisk walking, usually listening to something, passing each other or behind each other or whatever. But you make it however you want. Maybe a hand holding, walking session is exactly what you need. But we are normally like, I wouldn't say always like on a mission, but when I'm walking, I get into a certain zone. I get into a certain way of thinking. I love you guys taking a walk that feels like kind of like imagining or dream thinking. What do I want to create in the world? What's the next version of me? How does she live her life? How does she do her walking? What does she listen to on audiobooks? Like I love using it as a way to imagine and dream like what we can create in our lives and how I want to show up for my life. So I have found that this has become a big part of just my life in general, of like how I live my life and just being more active when you're not exercising. I've been training for years, and that is good. I've been building muscle, and that's a huge part of longevity and feeling good and being healthy. The piece that I was missing was just that consistent activity, and I have loved building that for myself over the past year. So I want to encourage you. How can you incorporate that more into your daily life? Start slow. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you're walking 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day, just increase that by 1,000 or 2,000. And what I think you'll find is that, again, that sort of, it's like that compound effect. The activity begets activity, and you'll enjoy it more and more and more the more you do it. All right. I love you so much. Almost at 200 episodes. I am so thankful that you're here, that you've been a faithful listener. I love pouring into you and speaking life into you and giving you some tips from my own journey and my own life. And just so grateful you're here. Thank you for the ratings and reviews that you're giving us. And we can't wait to give this Aura Ring away and the year membership to Life Mentoring School on Thursday, May 23rd. That is a very special episode too, you guys. It's me and my daughter, Emmy. Man, it was good. It was so good. I can't wait for you to hear it. And then after that episode, we'll be announcing the winners. So, all right. I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.